Okay, so the thing is, this is gonna find you on Sunday or Monday, but over this next 48-hour period, there is something I'm seeing subtle. Pay attention to the hidden architecture of this reality, signs, symbols, dreams, intuitive nudges. Literally, I'm seeing something tugging on your awareness to view something that's happened on almost space-time travels from the perspective of the soul. There is some type of sudden clarity that's going to be emerging. I'm hearing emerging within the seabed or depths of your own subconscious mind and revealing itself to you. And I'm seeing you're going to know exactly what to do with an experience. It's an alchemical process that's happening. And I'm seeing you performing alchemy through honoring where your awareness is calling you to journey inward towards. And that's leading to you literally elevate your own frequency to the point where the quality of your life exchanges are about to, I'm seeing, commence immediately. Okay, so there's something around the commencement or something. Something is like it activates something within you or your own life experience, or you're going to know what to do with it. So the next 48 hours is crucial for you. Let's begin. This is such an interesting message just opening up because it's very much a flow like water. You know the saying around be like water and then outward things will disclose themselves to you? That's exactly what this message feels like opening up. So I'm just going to take you on the ride as we continue setting up just to give you a feel. And I don't know if it's because the moon is in Pisces right now or what's going on. But the key word and phrase that I heard just opening up, streamlining into your field basically, was the restoration of the higher self and anchoring that within your present coordinate within space-time. That is leading to the anchoring and restoration of timelines. There's something extremely restorative in your field. There is some type of rejuvenating, replenishing field that you're attuned to that I'm hearing is allowing you to recalibrate your inner world. And that's also leading to a reconfiguration in how you exchange your energy, you exchange your life force with the physical realm around you. And I'll show you. So even just opening up for this message, right? I was like, I'm gonna put on some bracelets and set up, and I've just moved apartments. And I was wondering, where did I pack all of my crystals, right? And as soon as I go out to look at my pack for all my bracelets, here they are. I find my crystals. I'm hearing all have my crystals found me. That's kind of what it feels like. There's things encoded into your field, and I'll share with you. First of all, you're going to know that this is for you within literally, you should know this by now. And if not, when we look at the keyword and the restoration of timelines and the restoration of the higher self, I'm going to read that keyword for you, and then you should know. 111 could also be symbolic for you. I've been seeing that everywhere, and I've also been seeing 444 and 666, which is protection. That is a form of awareness that you have as you navigate the physical realm. 666 is all about 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. It's all about the subatomic layer of this reality and how I'm hearing you're very intelligently connecting with more of this subtle hidden architecture of this field. And I'm seeing it's actually becoming an instrument that you've learned, and I'm hearing remembered how to play. Right, there's something around the synthesis or something becoming very harmonic, maybe learning to return to harmonic order. Lemurian quartz crystal could be significant for you. Some of you need to see that. I know some of you read codes, okay? You read barcodes. That's definitely what this is reminding me of, okay? Again, very amethyst energy as well. Amethyst in the field. Okay, now that we've set that up, I also got specific. Blue could be significant for you or symbolic. I got what's it? I can't even speak today. It's just that vibe. I wasn't even going to record, but it just felt like flow state that this needs to reach you today in the field. It feels like this is supposed to reach you at the start of August. So just know that if this finds you then, there's a preparation that's unfolding. There is a lot more to unfold. And the keyword opening up, does that look okay? Maybe. Let's just rock with it. Okay. I had to wear blue. All right. There was an energy of being invited to wear blue. So let me read you 111, and then I'm going to share with you the archetype that I saw today. And it came in the form of a tattoo, which was the Queen of Hearts. It was the Queen of Chalices energy, and she represents an octave within you. And in this deck, she's also known as the Mender. That's her in her spirit form. And oh, that's right. It kind of looks like the throat chakra petals opening up. So there's something around authentic expression, being in two worlds at once, anchoring in your most multidimensional otherworldly gifts and attributes, and then streamlining that into your earthly timelines. And then that's her human form. So I'll go ahead and read her in a moment. But it just feels like this is the way that you're transversing the physical material plane. And then 111 is destiny. So follow what you feel, listen as your intuition helps to guide you to what you're manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all it is that you desire. Listen, lean in, and follow your soul. Okay, there's something around the restoration of connection, the connection to the eternal being that you are, because even just opening up with this message and finally going into free flow state, I feel so much better. There could be something around water being significant for you. Maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe you need to be around water. There could be something around I'm hearing not the elimination, but the alchemization of energy by utilizing this modality. So the first message was, "Hey, future VIP," and I'll go ahead and explain that. And it was, "You're more than halfway there." And what I was seeing was the Queen of Cups archetype, where you're essentially cultivating this state of consciousness, so much so that you can perceive the hidden architecture of this terrestrial plane. It's allowing you to tune into more of your intuitive, your receptive qualities, and you're basically entering into the subconscious field where these deeper patterns are beginning to reveal themselves to you about your own life experience. It could be, again, there's something around restoration and integration. Like you're integrating. To integrate is to become whole with information, it's to become whole with an experience, and that's what to be healed with, healed. Okay, something around healed with, through. Okay, does that make sense? But the VIP energy was kind of someone who has access, or they have privilege to access information that most people overlook. This is what it is. I feel like you're seeing your life experiences through the lens of the soul, but I'm going to go ahead and open up with this keyword for you. All right, so a beautiful way to think about restoration is that it's not you becoming someone new, it's about returning to the full expression of what has always been possible within your timeline. So there's two layers to it. One of them is restoring a timeline, which is to return to a sequence of experiences back to its highest level of coherence after periods of fragmentation, distortion, or delay. That's what it is. And one of the analogies is to imagine a river with a fallen tree that has blocked the current and it's caused the water to stagnate. So the restoration is removing a blockage. It could be something that didn't allow you to perhaps maybe see an experience or a person, or I'm just seeing moments within space-time through the lens of clarity. Maybe I'm just seeing blurred vision. Okay, blurred vision. It could have been something around the emotional body overriding true, natural, neutral observation, because I'm seeing tears in somebody's eyes. And you know, when you have tears in your eyes, it reminds me of a reading I did a while ago where people see that within you having tears in your eyes, but they don't see the world as you see it in that moment. You see the world kind of blurry and you see something kind of fuzzy. And so it reminds me of evolving beyond an experience, so much so that you can integrate the emotional data within that realm. And it's allowing you to elevate to higher states of consciousness, but there's a paradox, because you're only gaining clarity by going deeper into oneself. That's what it was. That was also the message opening up. I don't think I said it though. There was a message around the deeper that you go, the deeper brainwave states that you're able to sustain, the higher realms of dimensions you can navigate, and also recover the information from those realms. That's the message that was coming through. So that could be opportunities beginning to arrive in your field. It could be decisions becoming clearer. And then restoring your higher self into the current moment is described as existing outside of linear time. It could be a symbolic way of expressing the fullest, wisest version of your potential. To restore that into the present means allowing more of those qualities to inform how you think, choose, and act now. So it's almost like you're seeing an experience through the lens of your higher self. That's definitely what this is reminding me of. Life begins to look different because your perception changes. So again, it's not that a timeline has even changed or a person has changed or a situation has changed. Is that the lens in which you're interpreting the experiences is being viewed through a higher, broader, universal truth. Okay, that's what this is. So you might notice that you are no longer entertaining dynamics that have been draining you. Your intuition becomes a lot quieter, but a lot more trustworthy. And you make decisions from that clarity instead of that urgency. Again, you're not making decisions based off of pressure, based off of emotions. It feels like you're no longer reacting, but you're responding to the physical material plane, really intentionally choosing what it is that you want to anchor into your experience. And I'm hearing what you want to also participate with. And so from the outside, people can say, oh, you've changed. But the Queen of Cups energy is like, no, I'm just starting to really feel like myself again, right? Or I'm starting to act like myself again, or my highest possible expression. So that's what I'm seeing there, right? That's what I'm seeing. Also, you could be, I'm seeing recovering opportunities that lie dormant, encoded within an experience, and you're finally extracting the wisdom. That's what this reminds me of, and then you're carrying that forth with you. Okay, side message. It says, for what life experiences would look like is a restored being doesn't necessarily experience fewer challenges, but instead challenges no longer define their life direction. So that could be a setback that has become informative for your experience instead of you creating an identity around a setback. It could be a rejection that has redirected you rather than just destroying your confidence. It reminds me of being so rooted in the divine plan. So much so that temporal disappointment, again, is part of that divine redirection. So delays become periods of refinement rather than evidence that something's failing, and your success becomes sustainable because it's built on coherence rather than constant effort. That's super interesting. It definitely really reminded me. I'm going to go and pull Cosmos Oracle message before I continue, because I have got some astral messages that we've anchored in from the ethers, and I'm really excited to share that scene with you. But this is very much a free flow energy. It doesn't have much structure, and it's a reminder of how malleable our life experiences truly are, and also you are, right? So one of the messages I got with VIP is like, you know, when you go to an event or you go to a concert and there's usually a backstage pass or like a backstage after party kind of situation, and it's there, but not everyone can perceive it, or very few can access that, let's say, domain of reality. You're literally in the same event or in the same container, but only some beings gain access to that door. And I'm seeing that as your subconscious being that corridor of safe passage to come and learn more about what your life experiences on earth could be. I'm seeing perceived through, and I'm seeing it through the lens of the looking glass. So if you think about the looking glass in Alice, it's her intuition, the white rabbit, that led to her becoming curious and curiouser. And as she collapsed time by falling down the wormhole, she had a completely different experience. It's like she was taken to a whole nother realm and understood, her when she returned back basically to her old world, she was seeing life through the lens of what was always there, but she never was able to interpret before. So it feels like there's some kind of interpretation about your own life experiences, and I'm hearing maybe how they're in accordance with the soul's intentions. But yeah, these doors for most people are non-existent, and it's because they simply haven't, I'm seeing, navigated that realm utilizing their awareness. Okay. So the Queen of Cups carries that VIP backstage energy internally within her. It's like her intuition is something that grants her access to that realm. It's this hidden corridor of awareness. Let me go and see what the theme is for your life real quick. Okay, so you have two. We have, first of all, Big Bang, which talks about an explosion that leads to the birth of a new universe. And then you have Binary Star. Binary Star talks about stars in harmony and something that has always been transversing your path. So it kind of reminds you of quantum entanglement, where these particles basically collide and I'm hearing two wavelengths end up becoming one. That's what this is. But then they also separate. And you'll see what I mean when I get to the astral messages. It just feels like there's something that was always transversing your path, like this information since the beginning of time. And I don't know, there's something that's recalibrating here. It's almost like you can move through the physical world, but you're being informed by dimensional layers of this reality that correspond to your first point of emergence. Does that make sense? It's almost like you're connected to a hidden wellspring of knowledge from your point of origin. And so there is something that you can see because you're viewing your life on earth through the lens of source. That's what this reminds me of. So let me go ahead and read the Queen of Chalices for you. So the Queen of Chalices in this deck talks about compassion, comfort, and calm. A wondrous display of lily pads color the water, and atop the largest one kneels the mender with a sincere, let's see if I can show that to you. With a sincere lightness, they take on a broken lotus in their hands and offer it healing through compassion and care. The mender has found a potent energy within themselves and can channel it into a brilliant force for healing. This is so interesting. The mender has a comforting presence that imbibes those around them with a state of calm. Any reading is a positive sign of restoration and reflection. This is what I mean, restoration. Through the mender's compassion, they have the ability to heal, even without intentionally doing so. A lot can be learned from the mender when being soft, compassionate, and kind. If you feel as if you've been too rough lately, the mender may show itself as a reminder to embrace the softest side of yourself. Yeah, there is something there when it comes to the perspective of the soul and attuning to that, as we were speaking about with the instrument. Now I'm going to share with you some of the messages that I saw in the astral realm, and this is an interesting one. It really is, because I'm realizing as I'm moving through this portal with you how important it is to get this message out today. And what is it? Sunday? Yeah. I don't know why this always happens on a Sunday. But yeah, it does feel like there's something that's being illuminated to you this day, for sure. Yeah. Something's being illuminated. So the first astral scene was all about these spiders, and they were speaking to each other about the concept of time. And I said that they had access doors into the quantum tunnel, which was their own subconscious mind. And so those spiders represent intelligences that had mastered the architecture of time itself. Rather than being trapped within this linear reality, they moved across invisible threads that connected different moments, timelines, and also possibilities. They revealed that the subconscious mind is not just a storehouse of memories, but it's a series of quantum doorways, these hidden tunnels through which consciousness can access deeper layers of reality. And by entering these unseen passageways, a being gains access to information, timelines, and probabilities that existed beyond ordinary awareness. Then, this was a super interesting one. So I was seeing these soul groups. It was literally a nucleus of a family. So it's beings that are drawn together through resonance from what their subconscious core belief systems are. And these soul groups were coming together together. So I'm hearing the word alliance, but it reminds me of a star alliance. So thank you for being here. And I said that we were assisting each other navigate this dimensional layer of ourselves, but also our reality. And I said that we were all drawn in through resonance. So there's something around where your subconscious is leading you, you being able to sustain this level of coherence. And I'm hearing this perspective and gently bring yourself back to ultimate truth within your own life experiences so that you can, I'm seeing, recognize when a new form emerges and springs forth into your experience because you're acquainted with that essence. Why? Because you are that essence yourself and you're drawing an essence to you through resonance. Does this make sense? It just feels like there's someone or something, you know, when you're looking for the magic, but you're looking in the mirror and you're recognizing yourself as that magical being. Yeah, being able to sustain that level of lucidity as you move through this system, you're going to see magic reflected in everywhere that you go, in every interaction. I'm seeing no matter how mundane, because that's the dimensional layer of reality that you're tuning into. And when that becomes your state of homeostasis and your dominant vibration, your dominant core belief system, there's something beautiful that you're drawing into your experience. I'm going to get a Cosmos Oracle message for what that is. And then I'll show you the rest of the astral messages. Okay, so what you're drawing in through resonance is the spiral. So you're drawing in whatever your dominant frequency is. This talks about a vicious or virtuous cycle. You can cease going round and round and experiencing some type of timeline or experience. It reminds you of something that left a mark within your historical timeline. That's a point of reference. It's there to remind you how far it is that you've come. That's what this gives me. Then you have dark energy. So this is saying that there is so much more to be discovered. What if you've been one version of yourself? I'm hearing you're viewing something through a particular version of yourself, or let's say octave, but you're a multidimensional being, which means there's one circumstance, but multiple ways to think about it, multiple ways to feel about it, which also shifts your resonance to it. And I'm also hearing shifts what you're in resonance with, and I'm hearing what's in resonance with you and is on the lookout of finding or coming towards you. That's what this is, okay, with that dark energy in the spiral. So there is something that you don't see coming, but you want to make sure that you're on like the top of the coordinate within the spiral. I'm going to pull a message on this. What are you drawing in? Okay, you have the Eight of Swords reversed. There's something that you're coming out of your head in regards to, because the Eight of Swords is like a mental prison. It's a hello, knock, knock. The universe is abundant. The only lack that exists is within the mind. It's very much that energy, especially with the tower here at the base. There's some type of destructive force where this is the carpet being swept underneath your feet, but a moment of destabilization was designed to catapult you into, I'm seeing, reflecting or revisiting. It kind of reminds me of a rock bottom energy, but it's so interesting because I'm seeing someone below like a pavement and now they're underground, but they're seeing all the cracks within a foundation and you're able to restore that or replenish it. And then I'm seeing you kind of shapeshift back on top where you're fixing something from the inside out, or you're restoring something from how do I explain this? From inside out. That's what this is. Eight of Birds and the Tower. This is designed to shift. I'm seeing your mental patterns. All right, this is designed to shift and also catch yourself when you are falling back into just not conducive ways, right? Not supportive ways of thinking or feeling about your life experiences. Because you can experience it through the lens of chaos with the tornado. But, you know, can we blame the wind when it's us who opens the window? You know, that's really what this is. How can I blame the wind for the mess it made when it was I who chose to leave the window open? I'm seeing you kind of shut the window within a life experience, and that could just be a way of thinking or feeling about it that, again, is not going to be super conducive, and that's what you're drawing in. But then on the other side of that, there are experiences that you're opening yourself up to, and I'm hearing opening your field up to, that you don't see coming. And with the tower at the base, it's quite exciting because you literally don't see it coming. You're just opening your field. Yeah, you have the water song. So it's the full moon type of energy. This talks about the energy between realms, God and triumphs. So it's holding space for two truths to be true simultaneously. I'm gonna read the garden chimes for you. It's not in the traditional book because it's not a traditional card. And I'm hearing this is not a traditional way of thinking. It may have not been modeled to you, but there's a deeper knowing that you have. So this talks about duality, fusion, entanglement. What did I say when I spoke about entanglement earlier? It also says impact. Crashing waves carrying a midnight sonata to the full moon as a collection of garden chimes disappears and reappears. These chimes are rocked by the wind, but the turbulence of the sloshing waves in the water song. The earth quakes beneath the garden, triggered by sirens hidden in the waves. They sing a song so piercing it vibrates and echoes through dimensions. Like a soft spot between realms, could these two cards be merging into one? When you see this card in a reading, take notice of the invisible strings that tie everything together. We are always deeply entangled with the world around us. You greatly impact the people around you and near you, even when you don't realize it. As it flutters in the wind and quakes in the earth, your actions, words, and influence ripples into the lives of many. I'm hearing there's some kind of recalibration in your field when you also recognize the impact that you had on, I'm hearing understand the role or what part you played or participated within this experience. There is something to do with this as a conduit. Does this make sense? So there's a higher role, or I'm hearing a higher vantage point that you can receive. And then spiral, it frees you from the circumstance or it frees you from some type of dynamic way of thinking or feeling. And when I speak about dynamic, it's like shifting back and forth. There could be some kind of shifting back and forth from your inner world. Oh, look at the spiral, right? Look at the portal. It's 111. Of course it is. Feel it. There's something beyond the mind. You know what it is? It doesn't make sense to the logical linear mind. That's what the Eight of Swords is. And so it's asking you to go beyond the mind and tune into, yeah, the universal flow. It's 14:14 on the clock right now, which is literally possibilities energy. So it talks about the alternate possibilities within the same experience. So it's a curve that emanates from a point moving farther away as it revolves around the point. Talks about it can be a vicious cycle or a virtuous cycle. A positive influence in your life can change your life for the better, while a negative one can push you in the opposite direction. In this case, an influence comes from a physical being holding a reoccurring line of thought. What did I tell you? There's something that you're being called to transcend when it comes to your own thinking, like your own thinking. It could be the way that the ego perceives the situation, and then on a deeper level, how the soul perceives it. And that is restorative. A vicious cycle is a situation where one event is the cause of another, while simultaneously the latter is the cause of the first. We call any unwanted habit a vice, but we still repeat it, resulting in discomfort or a dangerous situation. Moving to a virtuous cycle includes moments of inspiration, happiness, gratitude, and increases our desire to give love, which is the most powerful source of energy available, forming a virtuous cycle. This generates a multiplying effect to our energy, which is loaded with consequent positive acts, generating waves of good energy. We have a chance to live on both sides of this dual vortex. Like the energetic yin and yang, our unique ability as energy alchemists is to pass between one side and another. So it's saying, okay, yes, this happened, but what do I want to choose to do with it? How do I want to choose to relate to this experience? The decision to choose where you position yourself in the vortex lies fully in your hands. And I just feel like with the Mender and the Queen of Cups energy here, there's something that this octave within you is inviting you to tune into. And I'm hearing this, that it's some kind of frequency of information. Now, the last astral scene was you hitting a milestone and jumping timelines as you received an invitation to go back home. Now, to go back home, I see it as being kind of the return back to the self and tuning into this realm of not just emotional intelligence, but I'm hearing the intelligence of the soul, understanding and recognizing how everything is always in benefit for our soul's evolution. And so the Queen of Cups energy is basically the one who can sense those hidden threads woven into an experience without needing external proof or external validation. They're a witness to their own life experiences. And that's what this is giving me. Okay, there's something extremely healing that you're going through. And you know what? It makes so much sense why you're being called to see this in August, why you're being called to see this as a numerical 9 month, okay? Because we're in a universal year 1 and 8 is the August. So it's 9, which is literally all about the clearing. It's about the releasing. It's about neutralizing our relationship to the matrix, which is to just fully unconditionally accept, which is unconditional love. It's a state of awareness. And you're going to receive that through deep symbolic language. This could be your dreams. Pay attention. It could be messages that come through when it comes to altered states of consciousness. It could be synchronicities. It could be just this subtle knowing, but you're tuning into this, almost the guardian of yourself when it comes to the subconscious layers of not just reality, but also your inner realms. And so understanding that your intuition is almost this quantum navigation system that's allowing your consciousness to tune into doorways of possibilities. I'm hearing for what could it possibly mean on a deeper level, right? What is the energetic imprint? What is the energetic exchange? Where you're no longer just reacting to the visible world, but you're choosing to be, I'm hearing, be seated within the stillness, again, of an experience and observe the intricacies and complexities of the surroundings and choose how you want to respond from the highest perspective. Okay, I'm hearing even just observe from the highest perspective. And that allows a peace to emerge within you that's so specific for your own life experiences. And I'm hearing this is the intelligent architecture of your own internal dimensions that you're learning to navigate and streamline and become fluid with once again, so that you're not rigid in one fixed, I'm hearing expectation or one fixed belief system or identity. And so the spiders, right, if we think about the spiders and the Queen of Cups merging, they literally end up becoming an extension of her archetype, because they're just patiently weaving these webs that are almost invisible, just like the Queen of Cups is doing within her own experience, where she's weaving this awareness through the unseen layers of her own consciousness. And she recognizes that what appears like a coincidence at first on the surface often has this underlying pattern. And there's something around a deeper pattern that your own soul is revealing to you about a particular life experience. And so if there's any message that needs to find you today on the Sunday, I'm hearing some of you tuning into this on Monday, this activated on the Sunday for you, because Monday is also the day of the moon and Sunday is the day of the sun. So I'm seeing something becomes evident to you within the next 2 days. So I'm going to say within the next 48 hours, there's some type of clarity that's emerging within you. And I'm seeing as gold, like gold that's emerging, gold that you're recovering. It could be the gold woven throughout your life experiences, but it's this process of alchemy, okay, alchemical force. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull. I know why, Spirit. I got summoned for this message today. Let's just say that, because I have so much to do, and I was really debating to tune in, but I know if there's things that I'm feeling within my own subjective journey, that there's something bigger that's going on collectively with each one of us. And so, yeah, I'll be really interested to hear how that corresponds with your own life experience. But yeah, it's a 9 months, so it makes sense. Right, you're close. Of course you do. I saw this message in my mind's eye. You know what's so funny? um, Yeah, she was a fairy. Okay, so Emerald Tablet activation. This literally came up on the last reading that we did, and it just come through again. And then we have the heart at the base, of course we do. And I've shuffled this, and so it's compassion for yourself that allows you to open up dimensions of information that resentment can never, that shame could never, that insecurity could never. And in the reading, before it cut off, I was speaking about forgiving the version of you that would only be able to learn the things that time would teach you. And this energy I saw in my mind's eye when I was shuffling, and it's literally all about alchemy. And so I'll go ahead and read this for you. I guess this is a continuation. This is what happens whenever I try and do shorter readings. But it's like, nah, we need things. Some of you guys needed. We couldn't leave you off on a cliffhanger like that, right? If we saw that message. So yeah, thank you for the work that you've been doing. I guess this is it was a to be continued essence, you know? I'm hearing ask and you shall receive. So this talks about the fall of Atlantis and also, information that's being preserved. So this card appears when you're being called to remember the gifts that you carry from previous lifetimes. Even if you don't always understand how to express them, there's a part of you that knows you hold a great power within. This is a special time for you to use that power to bring into manifestation all it is that you need for your life to unfold in a way that's in alignment with your best interests. All that has unfolded so far has given you the opportunity to learn and grow, even the unsettling moments. You alchemist, you magician. But you're a master alchemist with the capacity to take what was once challenging and use it to create positive opportunities for yourself. As above, so below. All the thoughts you send up to source will contribute towards your evolution on Earth. This is what I mean. Yeah, she was a fairy. This is literally, this message is so healing to do. It's so interesting because in some ways I felt like I had to feel a lot more, excited before hopping on. And I didn't know if it was because the moon was in Pisces or what was going on, but I was like, no, let's just show up and just chill and just vibe. And the paradox is that, what would I say? It's almost like there's an analogy that I could weave around this for your own life experience. Sometimes, wisdom has been quietly blossoming within you, even if the story's still unfolding. And I'm seeing something around the higher intelligence always understood the secret ordering and the cosmos that was unfolding within your own life experience. And so trust that secret order, even if it appeared to be disorderly, because looking back in hindsight, it was always perfect in its design. And I'm hearing, just like this message, that experience wasn't supposed to be delivered to you in any other way. So I love that. It's very much Moon and Pisces. So should we leave you there? Should we love and leave you there? I'm gonna get one Shaman's Dream Oracle message and then I'm gonna go. Yeah, man, this had to go out today. I'm realizing it now. Okay, you have straddling between worlds. So it could kind of feel like you're in limbo. I love this card, and I always say that it's because of this card that I got this deck years ago. And it does something to you. So listen to this, right? It says being comfortable in two states. Two truths can be true simultaneously. And I feel like I've been speaking to a lot of you behind the scenes around this, where there can be a deep paradox. And I'm going to do a teaching on this deeper. It will be coming up soon-ish at the speed of alignment, where we can desire something and then also recognize that it doesn't align with our deep values, or it doesn't align with the reality. And so get comfortable being in that state, get comfortable being a living, walking paradox. And I'm hearing holding the paradoxes within your life experience, because the more on the 0 point you are, the more contrast you'll observe, not just in the world around you or the inside of other beings' inner worlds, but also your own inner worlds. And I'm hearing that's a hidden architecture that we can observe from that neutral perspective. So wandering between realms and a reinvention. I'm seeing you're reinventing the meaning of a timeline itself, right? Or an experience. So when the straddling world card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. There's no going back. I was just hearing that. That's so funny. I was seeing it as you're moving forward, and in the rearview mirror of the car, you see an old paradigm dissolving while a new path begins to emerge. And within the realms of time, it seems like it's unfolding in real time, but the path is already unfolded and you're experiencing the journey there. That's what it is, to what has already become. So there's no going back to the way that things once were. And what will be is not fully here. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all of your memories, along with an awe as you glimpse into an astonishing and exciting future. Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, and invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life as well. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Make sure that you're not just a slightly improved and polished version of a dated and obsolete you. Birth yourself into someone original. Do not feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery, even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. Straddling Worlds invites you to become a true wizard, not one who performs magic tricks, but the one who has mastered the dance between the visible and invisible worlds, between the realms of the form and the formlessness. You are the birth of new ideas, of original and sustainable ways of being in the world. Yeah. Yeah. She was a fairy. That's literally what this is reminding me of. I'm just like trying to be like, yeah, this is a healing message to do for real. So thank you for being here on the ride, on the journey. And I see you. This is it's a communication hub and portal, and it really is a beautiful experience, even in the beautiful struggle of the caterpillar being in this liquefied state as it's growing the wings that were always a part of its design. And I'm seeing some kind of catalyst within your own life experience. But I'm seeing right now it can feel like you're submerged within the immersive experience of the human mind. But the moment that you recognize and remember the awareness behind those thoughts, you become less dense in the medium you're immersed in, and you become buoyant. Buoyancy. Oh, let me close out with this message. I'm hearing to become buoyant within a timeline. Okay. Can you define what it means to become buoyant within a timeline? I'm seeing that like an energy of buoyancy. To become buoyant within a timeline is a metaphor for developing the capacity to recover, adapt, and continue moving towards what matters despite the inevitable ups and downs of life. Just as a buoy floats back to the surface after being pushed underwater, a buoyant person returns to their center rather than remaining submerged by circumstances. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this definitely needs to come out. Imagine two people encountering the same challenge. One person becomes absorbed by it, and their attention, identity, and momentum becomes tied to the setback, and the other feels the disappointment just as deeply, but gradually regains perspective. That's exactly what it is, to feel the full range of human emotion, but then also return back to the 0 point. That's what this is. It's not to become stoic, but it's to feel the full range of vibrations, but then also return back to your state of the observer of those realms of experience and observe the one that's experiencing it, because there's many layers to the observer, as we know. So this is to learn from those experiences, to adjust your course accordingly, I'm seeing, and also continue moving. That is buoyancy. So that's where you could, again, have felt emotionally stuck or remained connected to a long-term direction, even when short-term events are uncertain and unexpected changes end up becoming opportunities to adapt rather than reasons to abandon your path. You don't lose yourself every time external conditions fluctuate. So this has taught you how to become your own anchor. This is what it is. It's like, it's not that the universe pulled anything away from you or you away from anything. It's pulled you back inwards to remember what always has been. And there is so much beauty in that meeting. I'm seeing it as literally an internal meeting with, you know, even tarot in these octaves. These are just, it's consciousness collapsed into form, into an archetype. And so the Queen of Cups archetype is seated within a dimensional layer of this reality, and we tune into this active participant within ourselves, this interactive element within ourselves, to, I'm hearing, regain perspective within our own life experiences and also hold more compassion for ourselves as well. And so, yeah, your sense of purpose becomes more stable than, and I'm hearing the purpose is experiential participation within this realm and not losing yourself inside of the dream or physical reality, and remembering your own divinity amidst the chaos. That's what this says. Remembering your own divinity amidst the chaos of the physical waking world. So, can you do that? Are you doing that? Let's anchor into the comment section. Let's anchor into the comment section that affirmation. I remember my own divinity amidst the chaos of physical reality. Let me know, and put whatever emoji, or put the water emoji. Do something that feels real to you, something that feels authentic to your own expression, and let me know how this corresponds to your own evolution. So I'll speak to you very soon, and I'm gonna go. Personal reading details are down below. You can inquire via email. The prices in August are now rising, so anyone that had the last cycle there for the previous bookings, I have you on a waiting list, but any more that come through, it's going to be with the new price point. So also check out Altar Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones. One of the proceeds are donated towards Otter Sanctuaries. It's a small family owned business to handcraft these beautiful gemstones. And yeah, that will be it, my love. Until next time, bye. You've got this. You've got this.